Hey, welcome back to the Step Out and Thrive podcast. I'm your host, Bethany Joy. And if this is your first time here, well, let's make sure that you are in the right place. And here's the hint, you are. If you are doing any kind of relationships, whether that's friendships, whether that's co-working, whether that's parenting, whether that's romantic relationships, we are all in relationships with other people, with God, and with ourselves. And we all want to do it well, right? We all want to go above just surviving, but we really want to thrive in that. So how do we do that? Well, that's what we get to talk about here. And I'm a mental health coach. I offer small groups where people can really learn how to do relationships well and use that in their ministry, use that in their missions, use that in their office space, use that with their kids. It's an amazing experience, and I would love to have you in one of our tip community groups. And so I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But right now, I want to wrap up what we've been the last couple weeks. We have been talking about Matthew chapter 14, verses 22 through 33, about Jesus and Peter walking on the water. And this, I believe, is going to be our final week in this. What else is there? Well, we ended last week with Peter and Jesus walking on the water and coming back on the boat together, which is great. It is great. And here's what I want to take away today, is that when they were walking back on the boat and they got on the boat, all the disciples said, "Truly, you are the Son of God." And that testimony was there. Now, I have a question. Did they know that before he got on the boat? Yes. Yes, they did. That testimony was unfolding as this was all going on. So I want you to realize something right now. The reason interactive appreciation, the reason freezing these moments in time is so important is that our testimony is going on right now. As you're going through the storm, as you're being called out into the water, as you're saying yes to that next opportunity, as you're walking through a really hard relationship struggle, as you're feeling like God isn't with you and you're questioning what he's doing, that is the moment of your testimony. So many times, I feel like we're waiting until we get back on the boat, so to speak, that we got it all figured out, that we know how the story ends before we share our testimony. But our true testimony is as we're walking it out at the moment. And so I want you, this is going to be a really quick episode, because I really want you to sit with that idea about what is going on in my life right now, that I know that Jesus is here. I might not be able to feel him. I might not be able to sense what he's saying. Or maybe you can. Maybe you're in the middle of craziness right now and you do know what he's saying and you don't know how it's going to work out. Are there people in your life that you're sharing that with? Are there people in your life that you were just like, yes, they get it? That yes, they're not going to try to fix. That yes, they have space for me. They are my safe place that I can walk through this moment with. And if you do not have those people in your life, can I ask why? And don't be like, "Oh, well, Bethany, I just haven't found those people." And I know, believe me, I had that excuse for the longest time. But here's the thing. When we want to practice relationships well, other people do want to practice that with us. And we have the capability to offer safe spaces where people can connect, where people can share their testimonies as they're happening. They don't have to wait for it to all look out like a certain way. But many times we don't offer that because we've never experienced that. And that is one thing that I love to do at Step Out and Thrive. I love to offer experiences where people can understand what it's like to be in a safe group, understand how to do this well, understand how to invite people into this, understand how to start groups, understand how to be with people and not fix, understand how to be with heavy emotions. You see, our testimonies are unfolding right now. And it is my passion, and it is my drive, and it is my excitement that I want us to have places where we can share that with other people, because that is when relationships really function amazing. As when we can share it with other humans, as we can share it with God, as we can really sit with it in ourselves. And so, do you have those relationships? Do you want those relationships? What would they look like? Do you have people in your life right now that you are like, yes, I would love to practice that with? Can I just come and check in with you once a week and share what's going on? Can you hold space for me without fixing? Do you have those conversations that you could have with people? What would that look like? What would that be like if you could? I just want you to sit with that part today. We've covered so many moments in this message, and I encourage you, if you're listening today as the first one, please spend some time going back through the whole entire story, all the way from Jesus sending the disciples away. That's a huge part to really start with. There's so many leadership principles. And I also want you to walk away with this. There are so many messages and stories in the Bible that we whisk by just because we're trying to get to that one point or that one area that we feel like God's leading, and we don't spend enough time with other places. I want you to know that you can do that. I want to give you the permission that you can spend time with other places in that. And you can freeze the story, and you can get curious, and you can invite other people with you on that journey. So today, like I said, it's going to be quick. I'd love to hear what God is doing in your life right now. So if you're watching this and you're like, Bethany, I want to hear more, reply, send me an email, bethany@stepoutandthrive.com. You can also grab the free interactive appreciation workbook at thrivewithbethany.com, and you can share with me what God is doing right here in the now. And if you want more information about tip community groups and how to have safe places like this, and you're going, Bethany, that seems too good to be true, go to my splash page, which is at bethanyjoy.fyi. The tip community groups happen twice a year. And then we also have Thursday invitations where you can just come and just kind of dip your toe in the water and see how it is to have really close, amazing community. As always, dare to do more than just survive. Surround yourself with the right people so you can share your testimony as it happens and step out and thrive. See you guys back next week. Bye.